Today's Gospel is taken from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 24, verses 13 to 35. It is a story about how risen Christ appears to two disciples on the road to Emmaus. The tomb is open, but the disciples' minds and the eye of their hearts are still closed. Seems that we also often live between the open tomb and the closed mind. It is not enough to proclaim Christ is risen. It is not enough to believe in the resurrection. At some point, we have to move from the event of the resurrection to experiencing the resurrection. Experiencing resurrected life begins with recognizing the risen Christ among us. That is the gift of Easter, and it's also the difficulty and challenge described in today's Gospel. The risen Christ appeared to Cleopas and his companion on the road to Emmaus as a stranger, out of nowhere, interrupting their conversation. They see him, they hear his voice, but they don't recognize him. They know Jesus was crucified, died and was buried. They know dead men do not come back to life. The tomb is open, but their minds are closed. Why we are unable to see and recognize the risen Christ as a stranger in this world? Because we bind ourselves through our fears, our sorrows and losses, our runaway thoughts and distractions, our attachments and addictions to things, people, and even beliefs. Sometimes it's our unwillingness to allow our trust to God to grow and change us. That's the very opposite of the resurrected life. The resurrected life of Christ reveals that all creation and every one of us are filled with God. The grace that is given us through the resurrection is unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and unconditional life. That is, I think, one of the most difficult things for us to see, believe, and live into. It is, however, the divine reality into which we are witness are invited, not at some future time and place, but here and now. We are witnesses based not on what we know, but on what we are, how we live, of course, our relationship with the risen Christ. It happens when we risk unbinding ourselves from the usual ways of seeing, living, and relating. Reflect on your moments when you recognize that you were awakened and could again start to live, or when your heart opened, softened, and you knew you were somehow different. Remember that day when you sensed something new was being offered to you, possibilities that you did not create for yourself. They just opened up. They are moments of awe and wonder that leave us in sacred silence. These are moments of our meeting with a stranger. They fill our eyes with tears. We weep not from sorrow or pain, but the water of new life. In each of those moments, the one who is fully alive and risen, the Christ, is calling us to see and recognize Him, to join Him, and to discover our new life. This is the authentic self we long to become, the self that we already are, and the self we are becoming. This is resurrected life. Let's not lose this moment. Let's not put this text behind us. It is much too easy to listen to the gospel, hear for better or worse whatever I have to say, and then return to life as usual. Don't let that happen. Your life is too important to let that happen. Carry this text with you over the next week. Let it open your eyes, your heart, and your mind to the life Christ is offering you. Let it be the voice of Christ opening your mind to understand and recognize Him as a stranger on your road to Emmaus. Amen.